Good afternoon to you and welcome to Hard Factor 90.3 Nigeria Info and Heron Port Harcourt. I'm Dayo. 11 minutes gone past 3 p.m. and it's fantastic to be here today actually. Not a Monday, not a start to the working week. Another opportunity to keep the conversation going. In hopes that after 2023 at least, the conversation will be different. If you catch my drift. So if you don't want to keep having the same kinds of conversations that we've been having prior to now, and post-2023, be responsible. Be responsible for your life and be responsible for the lives of other people. Play your role as a citizen, as an individual, with God-given capacities to think and process information. Assuming God is the one who does that, by the way. Well, welcome once again. And I hope you had a fine weekend. Mine was great, thank you very much. And I also hope that the start to the working week has been a fine one for you. My weekend was quite restful, actually it was. Well, save for Friday, but Saturday, Sunday was quite restful. And I feel pumped up and ready to go this week. So welcome once again. Join me on the conversation from 3 to 7 from today till Friday. Okay, so let's see where to start from today. We've got side comments coming up, random stories, random thoughts of mine on those, and which, a reminder, will not be discussed in this hour. The side comments usually are not until much later on during the open season segment. Yep, and that comes up much later on after the major news at 6 p.m. I'll take your thoughts during that period on any of the matters discussed on the show today, including the side comments if you missed out on contributing to any of those issues, especially my side comments. Till about 7 o'clock when we wrap it up, when the sports can come in for extra time. But between now and then, so after today's side comments, I do have a rant coming up, something in my mind of expressing some thoughts in it, and you're very welcome to express your thoughts in mine till 4. Now, 4, we've got business news coming up, and after that, is MOH still in a crisis? Is it? Remember last week? Was it last week? Yeah, I think it was last week. I had the chairman of MOH local government area in the studio, Dr. Chidi Lloyd. We talked about the security situation over there and a host of other matters, local governance in the country generally, as to whether or not it's still relevant. And, well, today we're going to be focusing on the situation. Now, this was on the news earlier on. A report says one person has been killed in Ilili Alimini community in MOH local government area following unrest. The councillor representing Ilili Alimini Ward 10, Ekweme Dike, told our correspondent that trouble started after the vice chairman of the CDC, Christian Chuku, was nearly tortured to death by members of the disbanded local security outfit OSPAC. He said the situation led to a reprisal attack by the youths of the community, which led to the death of a member of the disbanded OSPAC, John Amadi. And he's called for the deployment of security agencies to the community to address the situation over there. Is MOH still in a crisis situation? Is there a security crisis in the LGA? The chairman, Dr. Chidi Lloyd, joins me for that conversation once again this week in the 4 o'clock hour after the business news. That takes us to 5 p.m. Now, at 5, we've got the news update coming up. And after that, is Boko Haram surrender a good thing? It's quite something really that one would ask that question, because ideally you would think that if enemies of state are surrendering, that's supposed to be a good thing, right? If you engaged in a war and the enemy combatants begin to surrender to your army, that's supposed to be a good thing. Well, maybe things aren't as simple as they seem many times. Now, a story here cut to the Vanguard newspaper. You can find similar versions in other dailies. Why Boko Haram surrender puts Borno in difficult position. That's according to the governor, Zulu. Difficult situation? Well, here's the story, or a bit of it. Governor Babagana Zulum of Borno State weekend said ongoing surrender of Boko Haram terrorists had presented the state with 2 extremely difficult situations requiring stakeholders' serious examination of the wider implications. The governor spoke in Bama and Goza local government areas of the state while addressing military officers and community leaders, contended that stakeholders needed a well-thought-out critical framework that is to either accept the surrendering terrorists or reject them and continue with the war. Quite something, isn't it? Now, he said, and I quote, "We in Borno are in a very difficult situation over the ongoing surrender by insurgents. We have to critically look between two extreme conditions and decide our future. We have to choose between an endless war or to cautiously accept the surrendered terrorist, which is really painful and difficult for anyone that has lost loved ones. Difficult for all of us and even for the military whose colleagues have died and for volunteers. No one would find it easy to accept killers of his or her parents, children, and other loved ones. In the last 12 years, we have been in this war, and we have lost thousands of fellow citizens." He also said, "Accepting Boko Haram has the risk of seriously offending the feelings of victims with potentials of civil rebellion. Just as there is the risk that if Boko Haram fighters willing to surrender are rejected, they can join ISWAP to swell the ranks of fighters in the bush and the path of peace becomes narrowed." Okay. All right. Oh well. Maybe he does pose some of a quagmire, right? But how does Boko Haram surrender complicate the war on terror, or the surrender of some Boko Haram members? How does this complicate the war on terror? Or does it even complicate it at all? We'll explore this matter in the 5 o'clock. I'll be speaking with security expert Leslie George for that conversation. You're welcome to join as well. Headlines 5:30 p.m. Nigerian is at 6 and open season afterwards at about 7. Then we wrap it up. And that's the conversation for today. If there are any changes, you will find out. Simply stay tuned. So we'll keep things going right now with today's side comments. Random stories, random thoughts came across earlier on, which will not be discussed now as well. Medical and Dental Consultants Association of Nigeria, MD-CAN, has extended the ultimatum given to the federal government to review their salary and other welfare issues. Now, just a break here. I think it was last week when I was delivering some side comments on this development, on the situation with MD-CAN and their threat of embarking on a strike, which was supposed to have commenced today. I did say that I couldn't really foretell how it was going to play out. It's not very often that MD-CAN either threatens to go on strike or goes on a strike. Doesn't happen very often. So I'm not sure what the working template is. I mean, with resident doctors, with the ASU, a host of other unions, New Peng, in your sleep, you can script how it's going to play out, and you very likely will be 100% correct. But with MD-CAN, I think it's a bit more complex. Once again, not sure what the working roadmap is, as far as. So I'm also having to learn the ropes with this one. Back to the story. Remember that MD-CAN on July 26 issued a 21-day ultimatum to the federal government to correct the unwarranted removal of the consultants from CONMESH to CONWA and blah 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 blah. Anyways, MD-CAN chairman of GPTH, Chukwemeka Agi, said that the association at a meeting yesterday decided to give government some time to look into their demands. Okay, all right. So we can all learn together, I suppose, to see how MD-CAN handles these matters. Interesting to see how it plays out eventually. And I'm also wondering, I think the federal government has, the word we like to use is dragged the resident doctors to the National Industrial Court. Aha! Is that it? Was there some kind of backdoor agreement reached between the consultants and the federal government? Because imagine if the consultants had started their strike today. On what grounds would the federal government be going to the National Industrial Court to sue resident doctors that they have no right to go on a strike, or else to implement the no work, no pay? Aha! Ha ha! Ha ha! Is there a conspiracy here or something? Ha ha! Oh well. Oh well. Well, I said they want to give government some more time. I'm not sure if that ever produces anything positive in Nigeria, giving government more time. Maybe the consultants are shooting themselves in the foot, but well, time will tell. We'll see how that goes. Management of River State College of Health Science and Management Technology says the reports of the panel set up to investigate the allegation of rape against one of its lecturers, Chukure Chika Bobi, by a female student of the institution has shown there were no evidences to establish that she was raped. A provost of the institution, Professor Franklin Inlerum, at a media briefing, said the management of the institution has extended the suspension of Mr. Chikakpobi to 3 months without salary for sexually assaulting or harassing, a female student. He said the management also removed him as the head of the Department of Dental Surgery Technician. Let's hear what Professor Inlerum had to say about the sexual harassing about the Randy lecturer. Let's hear what said about. Just a moment. Let's hear what was said about Mr. Lecturer. Where is it? It's here somewhere. Oh, here we are.
The management of the college, in an emergency meeting which was held on the 5th of August 2021, had decided to suspend the lecturer, Mr. Shukure Princeway, the head of Department of Dental Surgery Technician of the college, for the case of sexual harassment against one of the female students in that department. The case of rape, however, was not fully established as indicated by the committee that handled the case, because there were no evidence to really determine actually that Chukure raped the student in question.
I feel like it must have been tough for the school management to reach this decision. The evidence must have been incontrovertible. It must have been extremely weighty that just couldn't do anything about it. Oh well. I don't feel for that. No, I don't. But however, if the school management of River State College of Health Science and Management Technology could determine a case of sexual harassment against Randy lecturer, Mr. Chikakpobi, then it's very likely that the police will be able to do so as well. So I hope that the matter has been reported to the police. And besides, it's okay if the management wants to suspend him further for 3 months and half his salary and whatever it is. But kudos to them, I suppose, or not, as the case may be. But I think this is beyond the school management. The police have to be brought into this matter. And by the way, Nigeria Police Force, River State Command, this is not a family affair. It's not a family affair. All right, so I hope once again the police are going to be involved and appropriate consequences are meted out to Mr. Randy lecturer. And to the provost of the institution, Professor Franklin Inlerum, I feel quite certain that there are lots of other Randy lecturers preying on students in your institution. It will be very nice if you will dig further and encourage your students to come out and speak on these matters and sanction them appropriately, and also invite the state authorities to take appropriate actions on these matters as well. But goodness gracious, once again, for them to have done this, the evidence was just there's nothing they could do. That's how I feel. The evidence was too much. Alright, so was there anything else that caught my attention today? Yep, President Buhari is back. His Excellency and himself and members of his delegation have gone into isolation after a 2-week trip to London. The President arrived on Friday, about 18 days after he left for an education summit and medical checks. Education summit. By the way, he didn't have to be there for the education summit. Now, Senior Special Assistant to the President of Media and Publicity, Garba Shil, confirmed this on Sunday. He explained the move was in line with the NCDC guidelines for international travel. Your Excellency, on behalf of the good people of Nigeria, I welcome you back. Your Excellency, why you were away? Why you were away, Your Excellency? Hospitals have not been functioning the way that they're supposed to function. Because, Your Excellency, if you remember, sir, before you even left, they were not working well. We even hear that the one where you live, Aso Villa, you guys didn't even have paracetamol one time. Maybe you have now, we don't know. But things were not good before he left. So, Your Excellency, even after he left, resident doctors have gone on strike. Consultants say they want to go on strike also, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, by the way, I forgive my bad manners. I hope you are feeling well now. After you went to see your own consultants and resident doctors in the UK, where they give you world-class health treatment. Your Excellency, if I may, sir, most Nigerians here cannot afford quality or have access to quality healthcare. So if Your Excellency does not mind, and this will not be deemed as having been sponsored by the position, can Your Excellency just manage and find something to do about the healthcare situation over here, so that while His Excellency can still be traveling to UK or anywhere for ear attention, at least let the common Nigerian be able to get some attention in the hospitals also. Yeah? Your Excellency, I know traveling to the UK for medical attention takes a lot from someone, and I'm sure that Your Excellency was feeling very tired right now. So I hope His Excellency is not offended by this appeal. But I feel that the good and well-meaning people of Nigeria would like for this message to be passed across to His Excellency. Thank you very much. Alright, so was there anything else that caught my attention earlier today? Right, I think that's about it. Wrapping up. Okay, I think that's about it. All right, so that's it for today's side comments. Is there anything else I'm missing? Am I missing anything else? Okay, so that's a wrap. I go for a break now. When I return, today's rant comes up. Do please stay with us.
We give the facts.
News entirely.
We give the evidence. Just to keep you informed.
News, weather.
I get my information top of the hour every hour.
92.3 Nigeria Info.
What we do goes beyond bringing you the news. We give you a chance to talk about it. Your opinion, your voice.
This is 92.3 Nigeria Info, Port Harcourt.
Your number one news, talk, and sport radio station.
A clean surrounding is a collective effort.
Diseases could be avoided
with good hygiene practice. Be more responsible with how you dispose waste products. The environment will be better looking without litter and exposed garbage. We love our city clean. This message is from 92.3 Nigeria Info.
And now, Hard Facts. Hard Facts with Dio.
Welcome back. It is Hard Fact 90.3 Nigeria Info here in Port Harcourt. I'm Dio. 29 minutes gone past 3 p.m. Conversation continues. Thanks for staying tuned. And I'd like to rant for just a bit. I do have something in my mind. I've expressed some thoughts in it. And you're very welcome to express your thoughts and my thoughts all the way till 4 p.m. But before I get into this rant, I just saw an interesting message here via WhatsApp. Some Dan from Port Harcourt is saying, Dio, have you already taken side with the student? Unbelievable. Dan, you're the one that's unbelievable. But I can't say I'm surprised, really, that anybody or some person would send a message like this, considering what plays out in our society. I didn't decide the guilt of anyone. The school management must have conducted its own investigation into this matter. The school management, I'm not a member of the management of River State College of Health Science and Management Technology. The school management of River State College of Health Science and Management Technology must have conducted their own investigation. They set up a panel to investigate this matter, the allegation of rape. Now, while they could not determine that rape occurred, obviously the evidence available to them convinced them that there was sexual harassment. The school management decided that, I know there are random people out there, The school management determined that, not Dayo, not myself, okay? And I'm simply saying that beyond the school management's position on the matter, the police or other state agencies should also investigate further. That's what I'm saying. So the school management determined that he's got a case to answer. I simply took it off from where the professors and all the other eminent personalities of that institution stopped. If you understand what I'm saying, that it will be good for you, so that you will not be investigated someday also. Alright, that said, apologies for that unnecessary distraction. Let's get on now. I did mention earlier on that I'd like to, I do have something in my mind, a rant that is. And if there is one, there are a billion things that Nigerian leaders have no idea of. They don't know how to or what to do. Or a lot of Nigerian leaders, I might say, maybe I should qualify that. There are a billion and one things that a lot of Nigerian leaders don't know how to do, including lead. But one thing that they have all perfected the art of, in my estimation, is the art of melodrama. Nigerian leaders are experts at melodrama. Nigerian leaders can act for Africa, if you ask me. I think that the Nollywood industry will be a whole lot bigger, will be a whole lot more successful. The movies will be more compelling if they will simply add some of our honorables and excellencies to play key roles, to play leading roles in some of these Nollywood movies. Because sometimes, and no offense to Nollywood or anyone who likes Nollywood, whenever I ventured or made an attempt to watch one, I usually end up being terribly disappointed. The directing isn't so great, the acting leaves a lot to be desired. But I'm certain if you let Nigerian honorables and excellencies take up acting roles in our Nollywood movies, they will kill it. We'll be churning out blockbuster movies week in, week out. Why am I saying that? Let's check out the story here. One of the latest in a series of melodramatic moments of Nigerian leaders. You can find the story in a Sahara Reporters. Captioned, Nigerian lawmaker in tears after seeing thousands of constituents in refugee camps in Niger Republic. Here's the story. A member of Sokoto State House of Assembly was moved to tears after he saw thousands of his constituents living in the Niger Republic as refugees. The lawmaker met his constituents in Asori State during a recent visit to an internally displaced persons camp in the neighboring country. They were reportedly displaced by bandits and other insurgent activities in Nigeria. Now, pictures obtained by Sahara Reporters show the lawmaker in an emotional state. And by the way, I'm looking at the picture right now, and I'm almost going, hey, really? I mean, the guy literally is wiping his eyes. You can tell that he must have been in tears. In tears. For him, it ended in tears. Now, the Boko Haram insurgency has displaced nearly 2.4 million people in the Lake Chad Basin, a December 2020 report by UNHCR stated. According to the report, Nigerian refugees totaled about 304,562, while there are about over 2 million internally displaced in Nigeria. Terrible situation. Absolutely horrendous for a lot of Nigerians, especially in the northern part of the country. It's a humanitarian crisis over there. A humanitarian crisis. But what is the best thing that honorable, the lawmaker, could do about this situation? He did the same thing that all the other honorables in Nigeria do. They have a working blueprint for this. How do you, it's almost like there is a textbook on how to be an honorable. And there's a chapter dedicated to when you see your people in a bad situation. What do? First, you go there. And when you are going there, make sure that there's a robust media team going there with you. And then when you get there, you come down, you alight from your vehicle, and then you look around. You must do that. You stand rooted to one spot, then you look around. For those of you who are watching this via Facebook, you are getting a first-hand, this is a master class on how to be an honorable. Then you look around. Then stand for a while and look into the distance. Just look. Just keep looking somewhere very far away. Doesn't matter if you're looking at anything in particular. Preferably look for maybe some tree or some object that's far away and fix your eyes on it. Nobody can know what you're looking at except you. Just look. Look thoughtfully. Squint your eyes. Thoughtfully. One hand on your waist, the other one pointing. Just point at something. Just point and then wave the finger aimlessly. Just point. And then withdraw it and then point again. Squint your eyes some more that you're trying to discover something. If you have aids around you, whisper into someone's ear. Whisper nothing, sweet nothings. You're not saying anything tangible actually. So that people will think you are asking about that thing you are looking at. But there was nothing in the first place. And then very important, you cannot miss the cue. You must display emotion. Preferably bring that finger you were pointing to your mouth, between your teeth, bite on it, and then say Choi. Very important, especially if you're from the southern part of the country. Southeast, southwest, Choi is very critical. You say Choi and then burst into some emotional upheaval. Let your body shake, almost convulsion-like you are overwhelmed with the situation. You're overburdened by what the people are going through, and then you shake your head. And then at that point, the media must not be allowed, because you cannot waste it. You cannot waste this emotion you're feeling right now. You can't waste it. So the media must then be allowed to approach you, to interview you. So they must hear your outpouring of emotions. At that point, you now go Choi, Choi, Choi again, shaking your head. Ha! Our people. Ha! My people. See our people. My people. And then rub your eyes like you're in tears, because you must give the impression that it has ended in tears for you. Rub your eyes once again, look down, shaking it profusely, and saying, Choi, hi, our people, see my people. If your party is in a ruling party, you must endeavor to bring in His Excellency into the matter. Somehow, just rope in His Excellency and talk about, especially if it's at state level, talk about what His Excellency is doing, the giant strides that he's taking at ameliorating the sufferings of the people. And then you must undulate between praising His Excellency for what he's doing and expressing your immense grief for what the people are going through. One moment to say His Excellency has acted. Next moment to cry and say what our people are going through. The next second you say His Excellency has budgeted. The next second you say our people. Then you talk about the magnanimity of His Excellency and praise Him for under 2 minutes. Then go back to, the people. Look at what our people are going through. How can you not? No! Then the crowning act. The next time you go to the chamber, if you are a federal lawmaker, because if you're a member of the State House of Assembly, nobody's going to see you. But if you're in the Federal House of Assembly or the Senate, fantastic for you. Make sure that the next sitting, the next plenary, you hold some document that has nothing written on it. Maybe you branch one woman's granite and collect plenty papers from her. Then you go there to the floor of the House or the Senate, and then you start waving after you have raised your hand and the Speaker or the Senate President has pointed at you. Raise, order, anything. It doesn't have to have, the number does not matter. Number 72, order 72 and a half. Order, and then you wave the paper furiously. Mr. Speaker! Mr. Speaker! Mr. Speaker! We cannot take this anymore. Our people are suffering. What are we doing here? How can we be sitting here every day? And the people are suffering. The people that called us are suffering. Let's close this place. Let's shut it down. Mr. Speaker! Mr. Speaker! Oh, goodness. This document is relevant for me. Okay, okay. Mr. Speaker! Mr. Speaker! You know, do that a few times. You know, make sure you are changing the document from one hand to another as well. Swaying from left to right, swaying, so that the camera angles, it doesn't matter where the cameras are in the chamber, you will be captured. So make sure you sway from left to right. Mr. Speaker, and intermittently shout, Mr. Speaker! Mr. Speaker! Our people are suffering. We can't take it anymore. And that's it. Job well done. Fantastic performance. And you go back to collecting your newspaper allowance and running costs of about 15 million or so, or how many million to get? Is it 30 million or whatever? Every month, doing absolutely nothing but shouting, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker. Unfortunate stuff indeed. So this honorable, did he not know that members of his constituents have been in IDP camps both within the country and outside the country? When was the last time he paid any visit to them? What has he done to impact their lives as far as lawmaking is concerned, as far as lobbying government, as far as keeping the executive on its toes to ensure the safety of lives and property, not just in his constituency but the entire country? What has he done? Beyond going there and shedding tears, beyond it ending in tears for him, what has he done? Melodrama. By the way, simple way to be, I need to write a textbook of this, I think, really, on how to be an honorable in Nigeria. Oh, that's an idea. That's an idea. All right, nobody. It's my idea, and it stays with me. Okay, this conversation is recorded. It's copyrighted already. On that note, I end my rant. Thanks for listening. Hope I didn't bore you. Any thoughts on my latest rate? Almost the same lines are open. We got 0817 923 0002 or 0003, 0817 923 0007 as well. Live on facebook.com/Nigeria Info PH. Please keep it brief, concise, and straight to the point. And once the call is answered, please turn down the volume of your radio set. All right, let's see what's happening. Am I live on Facebook? I think I am. I will confirm that shortly, but I suppose I am. That's it. Via WhatsApp, I do have comments here already via WhatsApp. Good afternoon. Looks like that lawmaker's dude has been reading the portion of the Bible that says, "And Jesus wept." Look at the way the American lawmakers are reacting in Afghanistan. And our own honorable are in pain. Don't forget one thing in your voice. That's Ernest from Woji. Good afternoon, we are used to the antics of our honorables and excellencies. My governor, Professor Day, is an expert in this area. You can't imagine that after crying so much on public television, pensioners and civil servants haven't been paid for some months now. Fear them, AJ Elijah said that. Dyer, you will not kill me with laughter. Our people are suffering. Dyer, cracking me up. Dyer, good afternoon. I'm of the opinion that you put all this funny attitude of our excellency so we can act it. We will make much money out of it. Really after. Melody from Uniport says that you must not forget to look up to heaven and ask God why. And make sure your aid is at hand to offer your handkerchief to clean your tears. Yeah. Hello, Hard Factor, welcome.
Oh, yeah, good evening. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Dr. Anthony from Silva.
Go ahead.
Mr. I don't think the people that are in that camp, there's not anything. Has always been through the past previous administration. So, let's not make this APC problem. And
what does APC have to do with this? What does APC have to do with this?
No, what I'm trying to say is that let's not make it big government failure.
What does APC have to do with this? You said let's not make it APC problem. What does APC have to do with this conversation?
Okay, so the issue is that IDP camp has been in existence.
All right, good to hear from you. That's your contribution. I must move on, however. No political party was mentioned in my rant. It has nothing to do with any particular political party, so I'm wondering what he was doing, really. Let's see. Okay, it does appear that I'm not live on Facebook, as I mentioned earlier, so possibly apologies for that. So I can't say if we're live on YouTube either. But back to the phone lines, Israel. Hello, Israel. You're welcome. Please go on.
Yeah, good evening, Dayo.
Oh, sorry about that. I am live on Facebook, actually. All right, Israel, you're welcome. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to talk about where our senators and our people are doing there. You know, the country we find ourselves in, Dayo, I must tell you the truth. Sometimes when I look around and I see the way our people are, these so-called honorables are doing to us, I feel like, collapsing and waking up again. Because if you look around, those people are just acting movies upon movie every day by day. And I don't know whether they don't have conscience at all. Sometimes I feel bad seeing those people. After when they play that movie and finish, they will still come back and continue where they start from.
Exactly.
Honestly speaking, God will help us in this country. But the only thing I would suggest, this is a high time Nigeria needs to wake up. And let's begin to do something. At least 2023 is near now. We can now wake up and do something. Let's do something. Let's see how we can, vote as in a normal, as in a right people into that chair. And God will help us. Thank you, Darren.
Welcome, Israel. Now, I did say some time ago, I mean, in the past, when if a caller says, God will help us, my usual response would be he's busy in Syria or Afghanistan. But I do accept, I have accepted over time, that Nigerians need some coping mechanism. So if the coping mechanism is God will help us, by all means, please, may God help us. And via Facebook, good afternoon, Dial. By the way, I am live on Facebook. I had to refresh that severally to see it. So we are live on Facebook. Just go to facebook.com/Nigerian for PH. And very likely on YouTube as well. Just search for Nigerian for PH on YouTube. Relish on Facebook goes, good afternoon, Dial. We do not need crying lawmakers. That funny lawmaker should have resigned from his position and returned all his loot and emoluments to the people he represents. We voted in a body language president and lawmakers, and they have taken us to a place worse than hell. All right. Victor Alali goes, just to add, when money has been approved for the IDP camp, it will be mismanaged, and then when they are called to account for it, somebody will just fall down and faint. Exactly. Once you say, oh, okay, Honorable, what about the $2 billion that was earmarked for the IDP camp? Honorable would be in pains. He suddenly would be in pains. Chimamobi from Abayo, welcome, let's go.
Mr. Dale, good evening, please.
All right, go ahead. Our
honorables are behaving as if they do not know what they are doing. Can a reasonable father say that he doesn't know when his family are suffering? That means that that father is not supposed to be a father. Because whoever that is caring for his family will know when they are suffering and when they are not suffering. So if as senators or honorables coming out to start crying, saying, is this what people are suffering from? Is this what people are going on, undergoing? That shows that they are not qualified. Meaning that those that elected them should vote to bring them back. Thank you so much, Mr. Joy.
You're very welcome, sir. It is a tragic situation indeed, a tragic one. Dial, they also say to the crowd, we're on top of the situation, we will leave no stone unturned. Very, very, very important, very critical. You need to know the lexis well. There's a lexis to be, there's a lingua franca. They have to be on top of the situation, and they will leave no stone unturned. If I coolly say from Iban, because I think it's unconscionable for politicians to retain their positions or seats after they have defected. That's a different matter. If you got to add that the aide has to say sorry, Mr. Excellency, when he starts crying, that's from Bruno. Hi, Dial. Whoever scripted that piece of act for that honorable should apply for a script writing audition at Hollywood and I believe Dwayne Johnson will personally pick him. It's quite unfortunate. It doesn't mean the Honorable was in the moon. He didn't know that his constituents were in the IDP camp. That's from Jeff and Phil. Good afternoon. That shedding of tears in public while the media is focusing on the Honorable member is part of his oversight functions. Cry and collect allowance. Emeka from Gruta. Good afternoon, Dial. Fake cry. It's not by manipulation. Cry. It's about doing something. What a country we are. I will soon cry today. Not only they know how to do that fake cry. Game from Ilele sent that. Dial, you forgot scene 2 when the governor will carry an IDP child while crying. No. Governors don't carry IDP babies anyhow. No, that's on special occasions, like election campaigns. By 2023, you see a lot of governors going to the rural areas in the northern part of the country, going to IDP camps. There, they will carry babies who aren't wearing any clothes, naked babies. Yeah. Chris from Abba, how are you? Welcome, Chris. Go ahead.
Well, good afternoon, Dayo.
Welcome.
Dayo, the gods are not to blame. They said that by trying often, the monkey learns to jump from tree to tree. In this scenario, we don't see trying again, we see crying. So by crying often, our honorables, so-called input, have learned to jump from one thing to another. And those speechless and short of words at the moment.
Remember we have an honorable who was on a tree for several hours, remember?
Have you forgotten the scene that played out in the National Assembly when NDDC managing director was involved in that investigation?
Off the mic.
Nigeria will not stop. Our honorables will never stop amazing us. Let's just pray that God comes down to our rescue as soon as possible. We need God's intervention. Seriously. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome, Chris. And via Facebook, Chile, Edwin goes down. Good afternoon. It's people with balanced reasoning like you to know that our representatives go to the assembly just to relax and catch fun. There's nothing anyone can do about this because that's the reason they can kill an entire community just to secure that ticket. This is where we are. Sadly, sir. Very, very sadly, sir. Okay, via WhatsApp, I honestly can't stop laughing. And that's from a very unfortunate situation we find ourselves in this country. That's from Odima. I forgot to call on UN, AU, ECOWAS, US, UK, and international community to come to the aid of our people, our good rivers people. That's from IBC. No, IBC, no. You don't. That is not a good time to call on the international community. You call on the international community when it's a bipartisan thing. When it's a ruling party against opposition party. That's when the international community will need to come in. But now it's just about IDP people. No, we don't need international community for that. At least they don't anyway. The tragedy of Nigeria, Africa, is that those in power have no ideas, and those that have ideas are not in power. And when the people have opportunity, they still vote for those without ideas. Emmanuel from Boni. Emmanuel, it means having structure. That's what it means. That's what Nigerians vote for. We vote for structure, whatever that means. Noble from GRA, you're welcome. Go ahead.
Good afternoon.
All right, come on.
I think this time around, we don't need to react. All we have to do is just laugh. And when 2023 comes, we put them out. That's the best thing we can do. Honestly, let's enjoy the comedy, and that's it.
No, the problem, Noble, with the comedy is it's a tragic comedy. People are dying. That's the problem with the comedy.
Yes, we know, but people who are supposed to act are not doing nothing. You understand? So let's just enjoy, and when it's time, we put them out.
Okay.
I'm really sick and tired of the incident in Nigeria. I mean, there's no day you wake up in the morning and you just say, let me look at the news and see what the government is doing that would impact the country positively. Whatsoever, when you look at the news, you just see crazy, silly things every day. It's disappointing. So let's just laugh, enjoy the comedy, and then 2023, if we are reasonable enough, we put them out. Because I know people will still take 4,000 for 4 years. You can imagine that.
Don't forget the oil and the rice. Very important. Branded,
and the
branded,
rapper too.
branded
And the rapper
rice.
too.
And the rapper is very critical for
And caps and t-shirts.
yeah, for our women leaders. Yeah, rapper is very important. Goodness, it's a tragic comedy. It's unbelievable, really. Really terrible. This is a very long one. I'm sure I can read this. It's crocodile tears. See their stomach. That's from Thank God. Yeah. Hello, they're doing this to gain more fans and loyalists. People like this have strong and die-hearted supporters. They're ready to defend them by all cause. Wicked tears, guts watching. That's some penny trust. It's a pity we have these failed people with very failed and empty ideas leading us. Most times I ask, well, the attitude of our leaders, do we really think they think about us? The answer for me is not at all. Not even close. We are in a complete mess in this country. This is a country of human beings without brains, so better still wicked and evil-minded brains. That's from Davidson. Ayola Eniton on Facebook goes campaign after elections, crying for who, looking for what next strategy to use to gather money. Some of our citizens still praise these Nollywood movies by these politicians. And I do have to wrap this up right now. It's about time that we become wiser, that we become the wiser, and need to start to see beyond all of this melodrama. See beyond the melodrama. So, Honorable has gone there, he has cried. What's going to happen? How are the lives of the people in those camps going to be improved? Are they going to have more food to eat tomorrow? Are they going to have better shelter tomorrow? Are they going to have medical facilities provided tomorrow? Are they going to have all of these things tomorrow? Are their kids going to be able to go to schools in those camps tomorrow? Will that situation change since Honorable has gone there to cry? It's a terrible situation. But sadly, 2023 might come. A lot more shedding of tears, buying ugu, taking keke, frying akara along the road, stopping somewhere to eat amala, or stopping with big convoy, full convoy, with 20 cars to buy bole and fish along the road, or going to some rural area to carry naked babies. The man has structure again. He's on grant. And of course, very important wrapper, branded rice and oil, with t-shirts and face caps. And everybody is deluded again, taken in by how large his structure is and the level of his ungrandness. It's horrible. Well, that's it. We've got business news coming up top of the hour at 4 p.m. After that, do we still have a crisis in Embohua local government area? Dr. Chidi Lloyd, chairman of the council, just for that conversation shortly. Do please stay with us.